Oh, this thing is so loud. Okay, hi. I guess this is like the intro to this vlog. But this is going to be a book shopping vlog. I haven't bought books in a while. I had to like clean up my bookshelf a little bit, and I'm unhauling some books. I have some books to donate, to give away, to sell, whatever. None of them are very well known. Just like old kids books and books that I am not going to read, but I thought I'd do a little unhaul segment. So we have 2 stacks of books to unhaul. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books to unhaul. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through them quickly, and then I'll like tell you my little plan that I have, my list, I guess, for what I want to get when I go book shopping. So yeah, okay. One of these copies is mine and the other is my sister's, but yeah, that's self-explanatory. This is like a book, a kid's book, a book when I got when I was a kid, and I never read it. I'm really just not gonna read it. The same goes for this one, and the same goes for this one too. I got this secondhand at the library, and I don't think I ever read it, and I don't really care for it. This is another book that I've never read, and I'm never going to read again. A kid's book. Another one, I read this once, I think, but again, it's a kid's book that I don't really care for. It holds no sentimental value, and I don't need it on my shelf. So yeah, this is another book I got secondhand at the library. Yeah, I remember reading this and liking it, but again, I don't need it. I have no care for it, really, to be honest. This book, I remember starting this book, and it wasn't good. It was bad. It was bad. It's about a girl who's like a pig face. Yeah, okay. I read this and I liked it, but my sister owns the entire series now, and I don't like it enough to like keep it on my shelf, take up space on my shelf. Like, I liked it, but if I want to reread it, I can just borrow my sister's copy. Like, I don't need to have my own copy. So like one of my favorite books or something. Yeah, this is another like kids book that I don't think I ever read. I don't really care for. This, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is kind of like a classic like kids like fantasy book. But I'm just never gonna read it. I got this secondhand when I was younger, and I'm just not really into fantasy anymore, to be honest, and I have no desire to read this. So yeah. I bought this in like the 7th grade when I was really into like sci-fi, dystopian, thriller kind of books, and I'm just not really into those kind of books anymore. The same goes for this book, Fate of Flames. Again, I'm just not really into the kind of like sci-fi, dystopian kind of books as much anymore, and I don't really have any desire to read that. This book, it doesn't even have a dust jacket. That's what it's called. Yeah, this book was not good, and again, it's like a kid's book, so I just don't really care for it. But yeah, I like cleaned up this bottom shelf. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't think I've ever shown it before, but I cleaned up this whole bottom shelf. This whole bottom shelf is just like my sister's books that I'm storing on my shelf, because she has a lot of books on her shelf, so, and I had space on my shelf. Tell you like my list, what I'm planning to buy. So I'm gonna get the Percy Jackson series. I have the second series. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's maybe Heroes of Olympus, but I'm not sure. But I need to get like the first series, like The Lost Hero and all those books, so that I can reread them before the show comes out. I just want to own them too. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'm also gonna get Book Lovers by Emily Henry, because I've been wanting to read that since before it came out. And then for the rest of the books, I want to get at least one literary fiction and Oh, and at least one classic. There are some like books I have in mind that I might want to get, like Bunny by Mona Awad and Ariadne or Electra by Jennifer Saint. I really like Greek mythology. And for classics, I'm not really sure what I want to get. I haven't read Pride and Prejudice yet. Otherwise, I'd maybe get another Austen. I've been wanting to read Crime and Punishment. I don't know. There are like construction men outside my window. I'm a little scared. Or just the noises. Anyways. Yeah, maybe Virginia Woolf. I really don't know. I'll just have to see. Maybe like a Bronte sisters. But yeah, that's the plan as of right now. I think I'm gonna go this weekend, so I'll vlog then. Hello, I am back. I got $9. Let me show you the snap real quick. Wow. Okay. I didn't really get that much footage in the bookstore because I was honestly so overwhelmed because I didn't know what books to get, and I had to like choose, and there were so many books that it was like a lot for me, and I was like, and I just got too stressed, and I wasn't even thinking about like taking pictures or taking videos or anything. Honestly, I just love being in bookstores and like libraries. It's just such a vibe. Such a vibe. Anyways, but I'm gonna do the book haul now. So the first thing I got, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the complete series. This was like literally $30, which is such a good deal because it's like 5 books. So that's like $6 per book, which is so cheap. Like if you buy them individually, they're like $11 each. That'd be like $50. So I knew I wanted to get this. I've been wanting to get this for like a few months now, actually. Just because one, it's a good deal, and two, because I actually have other Percy Jackson books. But it's not like when I first got it, I bought The Last Hero. I didn't know that it wasn't like the first book. The first book is The Lightning Thief, and I bought The Last Hero by accident, and I was like, shoot. And so I think the first time I read these, I read them from the library, but I wanted to get my own copy so that I can reread them, and especially reread them before the show comes out, and just have them in general, because I loved these as a kid, and I love Greek mythology, so definitely want to revisit that. So let's do an unboxing, if you will. Actually, I don't really know what these covers look like. They're different than my other covers, the original covers, I think. I don't know, are they? I love how the spines match up also. It's so nice. Okay, so we have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This is the first one. There's a musical deck. And then we have Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Ooh, Cyclops doing some damage. And then, that's the series. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Sea of Monsters. That's what this one is. And then we have the Titan's Curse. Yeah. And then we have the Battle of the Labyrinth. And we have the Last Olympian. Yes, that is so yes inside. So here, I'll show you one. These are what the old ones look like. I don't know if, because I feel like they had the Olympian series had covers like these too. Another thing I need to do is, I'm missing the third book. I think I lent it out to someone I was friends with in like 6th grade, and then we graduated and I never saw them again. I never got it back. Like, I think that's what happened because I don't have it. The Son of Neptune. Oh no, sorry, the second book, The Son of Neptune, in that series. So yeah, I also never finished it. You can tell because the spines of book 1 and 3 are cracked, but the spines of book 4 and 5 aren't. The other book that I knew for sure I wanted to get, and that I've been wanting for a few months now, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have Beach Read and People We Met on Vacation and I really like the most. I loved Beach Read like so much. It's one of my favorite books ever, and I liked People in Navigation not as much, but it was still good. And I've heard like such good things about this book, and apparently it's one of her older sisters, and I am an older sister, and I eat up that older sister trope. So good. It's not a trope, it's just a thing that exists, but I'm gonna eat it up. I just knew, like, I have to get this. And then, so Indigo's having a sale where if you buy 3 books, you get the 4th free. I think I already said that. So these are the other 3 books I got. I actually don't even know which one I technically got for free. Okay, yeah, I think the book I got for free was Book Lovers. Yeah, it's like $23, which is a lot because books are freaking expensive. Like, so that's like a really good sale. Yes, okay. And then so the other 3 books I got, which can I just say took me so long to decide. Like, I was like really having a crisis and then to go like what kind of books I wanted to get. So the first one I picked up is My Dark Vanessa. I saw this on the table and I've been thinking a lot. Not thinking a lot, but I feel like I've been seeing this a lot recently. And I've seen Dakota talk about it and like as like one of her favorite books. And I think it's like a super interesting and like valuable book to read. It was on like a table of like books that like won awards or something. Sorry. The next book I picked up was Ariadne by Jennifer Sain. Ariadne, I don't know. I think it's Ariadne by Jennifer Sain. I love Greek mythology. Hence the Percy Jackson. I love Greek mythology so much. And love the Song of Achilles and like Circe, which are like Greek mythological retellings. And this is another Greek mythological retelling, so I thought I'd try this out. But I've heard great things about this, honestly. I've been wanting to read it for a while as well, so yes. And then I picked up As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which is the 3rd book in the Good Girl Guide to Murder series. And I have the first one, and I have the first one in paperback, and so I was a little bit hesitant to buy this because it's not out in paperback yet. And I was like, I'm gonna have the first 2 in paperback and then the last one in hardcover, which kind of bothers me, but it's honestly worth it just because I want to read this so badly. And I just read Good Girl Bad Blood like earlier this month, and it was so good, and I need to read it right now. So I bought that. Yeah, so that was my little book haul, and I need to like, I'm gonna have to reorganize my bookshelf a little bit to fit these books in, so I am running out of space. Funny. I actually bought so many books in the past year. Like, most of the books on this shelf I've bought within the past year, which is so funny and also crazy. Like, the amount of money I've probably spent. We don't talk about it. Really debating because they had some editions of like the cloth bound classics, and they had Crime and Punishment in the cloth bound classics edition, and I was considering getting it, but it was like $38, and I was like, that is a steep price for like a book that's like, of course, like I do want to read it, but I kind of want to read these more, and I'm more likely to read these because it's so intimidating. It's Russian lit, it's ginormous, it's by Dostoevsky, like it's just super intimidating, and I want to read it someday, of course, but this is also like a good mix and like variety of books. I also didn't stick to my list. I said I wanted to get a book I'd never heard of, but I was like, I literally have hundreds of books on my TBR. Why would I get a book, like a random book I just picked off the shelf, when I have hundreds of books that I want to read more that I know I'll probably like? So, you know, I kind of disobeyed myself, but I'm so excited. Every time I buy new books, it's just contributing to the library that one day I'm gonna have. I'm manifesting. I'm gonna have a library. I am, and I'm collecting books for that library. But yeah, I'm gonna reorganize my bookshelf. Okay, so here's my bookshelf. So basically, like, this is like all like fantasy, like YA middle grade. But obviously the Percy Jackson series isn't gonna fit, and I want to keep all the Percy Jackson books together. So I think I'm gonna move some of these books down here and then shift these over, and then maybe put some of these other books down there so that I can fit the Percy Jackson series on that shelf, maybe, I don't know. And then these shelves, like, I have space, especially if I turn these upright, so I'm gonna organize my bookshelf right now. Okay, so this is what I've done. I did what I said I would do. I moved some of the books that were here down to this shelf because there is space. and I moved books from this shelf down here. So I have my Land of Stories books and this book and The Hobbit here now. And so this is kind of like the start of like the middle grade fantasy. And this is the Harry Potter Percy Jackson shelf. So I have, I guess this is kind of a bookshelf tour, but Percy Jackson in the Olympian series here. And then I have Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus there. With this shelf, I moved my Emily Henry books to this shelf and I took out the stack and thought I had more space. That library books go here, and then I put As Good as Dead, of course, next to Good Girls Guide to Murder. And then yeah, this shelf I moved. I took off this stack, stood it upright so I had more space, and then I put my Emily Henry books up here. And then this is just all alphabetical. It goes classics and then adult fiction. This is all alphabetical. So Ariana, My Dark Vanessa, and then Book Lovers is here. So yeah, that is everything. Kind of concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed like coming book shopping with me. I love book shopping vlogs and book hauls. Like they're just some of my favorite videos to watch. So I thought I'd make one. This kind of reminded me that I should do a bookshelf tour. So comment if you would like that, and also comment like your thoughts on the books I bought and like which one I should read first. Like what is the best book of the 9 books I bought? Which one do you like the best? Which one is your favorite? Which one should I absolutely prioritize reading? But I'm super like genuinely so excited to read these. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you want a bookshelf tour, because I would really love to film that, like an in-depth. Another thing I love to watch, I love watching in-depth bookshelf tours where they go through every single book on their shelf. I watched this, if you guys know Emmy, she's like a booktuber as well. She's actually Canadian as well. I'm Canadian, I'm not gonna mention that. And she had like hour plus long bookshelf tour where she went through like every single book on her shelf, and I love those videos. I don't care how long they are, I will watch the entire thing. Like I love those videos. I think they're so interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. If you subscribe, like, or even just watch this video, it means truly so much to me. So kisses. Bye.